John Frank Dudley is the second oldest of 11 children. He was born and raised in segregated Kinston, North Carolina, and served as the student body vice president at segregated Adkin High School. In the wake of civil rights movement, Mr. Dudley and 5 other students approached the Kinston Board of Trustees petitioning for better amenities for their school. When the students' requests were overlooked, they met privately without adult supervision or knowledge and strategically planned a walkout. On November 20th, 1951, John Dudley's delivery of the daily morning announcements to the student body provided a secret directive, a code. At that moment, more than 700 students marched from the school. Approximately a year and a half later, the requests of those brave students, initially denied by the board, were finally met. Mr. Dudley and his cohorts were officially recognized for their leadership in 2013 through the Civil Rights History Project, a joint project of American Folk Life Center, Library of Congress, and the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. He earned a master's degree in sociology urban learning from George Washington University. Mr. Dudley served as a community service administrator with the Bureau of Rehabilitation and the director of the District of Columbia Coalition for Youth. He later served as the director of Shaw Halfway House for ex-offenders and the director of Lamont Youth Home for at-risk teens. John Dudley and his wife Barbara have been married for 67 years. They are both long-standing members of RBC, with sister Barbara Dudley being the first person to be baptized in RBC's current building. They've been blessed with 4 children, 6 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. Mr. John Dudley is an RBC history maker. Our history maker. What was it like to actively oppose racism during the civil rights movement?
We went to put to the board, and we passed them the petition, the things that we had typed up that we wanted to do. When they said that what we were asking for was not in the budget for the next 10 years, we looked at each other and we said, thank you. We walked out and we knew the planning that we had done the week before was on. After the board meeting that Monday, that next Tuesday morning, I was a member of a team of 2 people. Frederick Thompson and we did announcements every morning for 2 years. And I made the announcement, Carolyn Stewart has lost her red pocketbook. And that was the code word for every student to get up and walk out. The next morning, 2 members of the board came to us, to our school, and told the principal to get those students together that led this walkout. And the board told us, look, if you 5 students do not get these kids back in school. Remember, this is 2 days before Thanksgiving. You guys will not graduate. If any of these students break the law in any way, you will not graduate because you will be cause of them being out of school. So we said, so be it. Somehow we had no fear. 18 months later, everything that we had petitioned for, a state-of-the-art gymnasium had been built, 18 months. All the classroom space we needed and everything we'd asked for had been corrected.
What challenges or obstacles did you have to overcome due to race?
I think of one incident that still stands out in my mind. I was on a bus with my mother. They had only one bus in my hometown, empty bus almost. And a white guy came on the bus and stood right beside my mother and I. We were one seat behind the door, the back door. And he asked my mother, "Nanny, aren't you going to get up and give me your seat?" And as a 9-year-old, I couldn't understand that. And the bus driver heard him and walked back, stopped the bus, walked back and said, "Look, man, come up front and sit, and let's don't have that stuff today." So that's one of the situations.
What is your advice for young Black men and women who want to follow in your footsteps?
I hope it inspires young folk to realize that all is not lost. If you have a plan of action to make things better, go for it. Because my motto has always been, I would like to leave this world a little better than I found it.
Mr. John Dudley is an RBC History Maker.